Tim, and I'm your contra. No. It's welcome to the University of FenCon.
Oh, hi,
Yeah, and this is new student orientation. We're going to introduce you to our professors, but anybody lose an iPhone? We found an iPhone. No. What?
Oh, it's fine.
That should be good. Did you lose an iPhone?
Yes.
What's your screen look like? What? No passcode.
Call Mom. That's what I do.
Okay. So I've been asked to make an announcement. If any of you signed up as friend of the Fen members, you should have gotten a coupon like this with your badge to go pick up your t-shirt or tote bag. The people in the Fen convenience store in the dealer's room would really like it if you went and picked up your t-shirt or tote bag. Not right now, I think they're closed now. But tomorrow at your earliest convenience, if you didn't sign up as friend of the Fen, we've got some really cool t-shirts and tote bags. We're a university this year, right? So every university's got to have a mascot, and we're the Fighting Grays. So we've got our Fighting Grays t-shirts. And this is our really cool nifty convention shirt, which is all pretty and glorious and big. So we don't have the tote bags here, but the tote bags are totally awesome. So go spend money. Here's one of the tote bags. It's really cool. It's got pockets all over the place. It's big, flat bottom. You can carry a laptop. You can carry books. We sell books here too. We have people sell books. We love books at FenCon. Yes. All right. Those of you who have been here for all 11 of these things know that I have a really weird habit thing I like to do.
Only one?
One in particular.
It's the only one you can do on stage.
We've got a sale in the Fen convenience store on past year t-shirts. So I've got some past year t-shirts that I'm going to pass out to you now. So, who's ready?
Yes!
Need one of those t-shirt cannons, make sure. Oh, nice.
If you get a size that doesn't fit you, you can probably exchange it in the Fen convenience store. But I'm not going to guarantee anything. All right.
Okay.
Moving on, I have another very important announcement. Our Fen guest of honor this year, Jerry Sullivan, when I invited her to come to FenCon, she said, "Ooh, that would be great. It's been my lifelong dream to go to the State Fair of Texas." So on Monday, we're doing FenCon on a stick. So if you've got Monday off, or if you don't, call in sick. We're getting a small group. We're going to go hang out, do the State Fair. She's got a whole package planned together. So we'll go as a group, we'll meet up at times, but FenCon on a stick, what better than FenCon and science fiction fans and fried food on sticks? American Idol's there? I have no idea. I've been busy planning this, I've been ignoring fair news. So. Okay, on to important stuff. Every year we do a short story contest. It's a pretty cool short story contest. We have winners. Actually, a couple years ago we started a new one, but first our standard short story contest. Third place went to Hippocopy by B.J. Beck. I think I got the wrong list here. Hang on. Here we go. Yay! A lovely certificate. is Vapor by David W. Lee. Is David here? Well, oh yeah, and Vapor, the first place winner, is in our really program book this year. So,
It's very good.
The winning short story Vapor is printed in our program book this year. So look in your really cool program book, because it's got stories and artwork and great stuff from all of our guests. And it's a wonderful, cool program book. I think we've got one of the best program books around. Yes? Okay, well, talk up front. Check it. Registration. All right. We also, for the past couple of years, we've been doing a young adult short story contest. This is the second year of our Young Authors Division of the Short Story Contest. We were excited to have more than double the entries from the first year, and we hope it continues to grow. It's great to promote young writers, and you know, because we're a 501c3, we've got an educational mandate, so we want to, you know, reach out to people and get people reading and writing science fiction. The contest is aligned for the 2013-14 school year, so the grades listed are from last year. Third place, The Not So Diabolical Witch by Sidney Blaschke. From Richard Science. Holly won. Second place, The Rejuvenation by Variana, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. Schilkamp. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. First place is A Grim Adventure by Rachel Levy, 12th grade from Dallas, Iowa. Okay, winners that are here, please see Fran Mahaffey and Conops for their prizes. Fran is the lady right over by the door there. Okay, moving on to other fun things, room parties. We have lots of room parties. They're now all congealed in one quarter. So listen for the beer. They're on the back hallway that the hospitality suite is on. Just go north. They're all down that wing. They'll be there both nights, Friday night tonight and tomorrow, Saturday night. So go check out room parties. We have a charity auction and art auction tomorrow afternoon or evening, 6:30. Our charity this year is the Child Advocacy Center of Collin County, and they do really good work. You hear about people that get, sorry, my brain stopped, supervised visitation with kids. They're one of the places that do this, and they try to make it as friendly and a comfortable situation. A lot of kids that have got bad things going on in their lives, and they're trying to, it's a very safe area, and they're independent, so they don't actually work for the state. They're an independent third party, and they do a lot of cool work, and we've got a print of our program book cover we're selling in the dealer's room, and we've got the charity auction to raise money for this charity. So, all right. Oh, yes? The sooner the better. Probably if you could get it to us tomorrow morning. All right, thank you. Now the good stuff. You're bored with me, so Timothy Zahn. Where is Mr. Zahn? Okay. Wrong series.
Must be present to speak.
All right.
Or maybe he has one of those hologram things.
All right. I'm leaving. Timothy Zahn is going to be much more entertaining than I am. So thank you. And if you want the phone, go to I'm bringing this to our operations.
They left us in the room and didn't come back and get us, and we decided to come here anyway. We figured since it was a university, the rule is you wait 5 minutes for a teaching assistant, 10 minutes for associate professor, 20 minutes for a full professor. We were going to order pizza, but we never got around to it. So anyway, thank you for coming here tonight. Welcome to the University of FenCon, or WUFC, as we like to call it. We hold the distinction of being the only center of learning, higher learning in Texas that does not have a football team. Universities are called centers of knowledge because freshmen bring some in and seniors don't take any out, so it accumulates. But that is not the case here. The administration has brought a sterling roster of guest lecturers who expect you to listen, enjoy, and take something with you when you leave. And yes, if we feel it necessary, there will be a quiz. I'd like to begin the introductions with Professor Jerry Sullivan, our fan guest. Fan? Yeah, not yet. I'll tell you when. FAN is, of course, an acronym for Friends of All Nerds, one of the most popular student clubs on campus, of which Professor Sullivan is faculty advisor. She has a long history as a friend of nerds, a fanzine editor, writer, and photographer. Jerry hails from Minneapolis, where even now, September, winter is descending upon the frozen wastes of Minnesota. Her involvement with fandom began in the 1980s with the Minnesota Science Fiction Society. Her first fanzine, Idea, first appeared in 1988 and has run 11 issues, winning the probably F-A-A-N award for Best Fanzine twice, first in 1988 and again in 2001. She also served as an associate editor of Science Fiction 5 Yearly, which was a lighthearted fanzine begun by Lee Hoffman in 1951, which sadly came to an end with Ms. Hoffman's passing in 2007. Jerry is also known for publishing one-shot zines, so be sure to ask her what she's up to these days. Please welcome Jerry Sullivan.
Number one, it's absolutely great to be here. It's my first time in Dallas. And I got in yesterday, and everybody here is so friendly and fun. And it's really cool. So we're going to have a fabulous weekend. Did want to mention two things. The one you already heard about is FenCon on a Stick, and tomorrow afternoon we'll be figuring out the schedule. But if you can take off Monday and come to the State Fair, we're going to have a blast. The other one is tonight, starting at 9 o'clock. Mid-Americon 2 will be partying in 2004. So down the party, going to come party with us. Thanks.
The University of FenCon, WUFC, and science fiction in general have always had a deep interest in matters of space and the universe and such. To that end, the administration wanted to create a faculty position dealing specifically with that area, spatial guest. Due to an unfortunate autocorrect incident, this position instead came out as special guest. Or possibly for once, autocorrect knew what it was doing, because our special guest, Professor Carrie Vaughn, really doesn't deal much with space at all. She is in fact the author of the very down-to-earth urban fantasy series, Kitty Norville, which not only speaks to the fantasy audience, but also resonates with romance readers as well. So well, in fact, that in 2005 she won the Romantic Times Reviewer's Choice Award for Best First Mystery, which means she writes fantasy, romance, and mystery all at the same time. 3 books all mashed together. Clearly a lady who likes to be efficient, and an author who is not being paid by the word. She's also published over 60 short stories, been nominated for a Hugo, and as a graduate of the Odyssey Writing Workshop. The Odyssey Writing Workshop, knowing a good thing when they see it, has also brought her back as special writer in residence. Please welcome Carrie Vaughn.
Thank you for inviting me to FenCon. I'm having a fabulous time already. Thank you especially to my workshop attendees. You may not know it, but we have already been working really hard for 2 days. So other people showed up to the convention today, and it's like, oh, we're having a workshop and a convention. This is great. So once again, thank you to all of you. I'm happy to be here.
As you may know, photos taken of distant galaxies, planets, and nebulae are seldom all that impressive. It's only when those photos are enhanced and false colors added that we get these spectacular photos we're all familiar with. Mindful of this, UFC wanted to bring in someone who can capture these images, not with camera and computer tricks, but with pencil and pen and paintbrush. Thus was created the position of spatial artist guest, or again, because autocorrect, special artist guest. Professor Kat Conrad calls himself a surrealistrator, which I think we ought to give autocorrect a crack at, just to see what happens. At any rate, surrealistrator is merely a fancy way of saying he produces really cool stuff. His art has long roots reaching back to Picasso, Frazetta, and Finley, along with many other legends of the field. He can handle everything from fine art and commercial illustration to the kind of work you'd expect a surrealistrator to produce. He's also a golden age comic historian, fan entertainer, actor, and auctioneer. And I understand he holds a record for a 5.5-hour marathon auction at Worldcon 51. Bottom line, do not get into a talking contest with this man, you will lose. Please welcome Kat Conrad.
Is everybody having a good con so far? Well, folks, I don't know if a mistake was made in getting me up here tonight, but I would like to see everyone at the art auction tomorrow night at 6:30. We have some very fine art in the art show. And if you can't make if you can't afford the art, at least you can have a good time this weekend. This show is going to be great. I guess that's about all I have right now, but if you want to see me and visit with me this weekend, I'll be here all the time. And on to the next.
One of the most beloved divisions of UFC is the music department. To that end, the administrators have brought in the fine musical group known as Ookla the Mock. I've just been informed autocorrect has given up and gone home. The band Ookla the Mock was started by Rand Bellavia and Adam English, who met as undergraduates at Houghton College in 1988. Contrary to popular belief, the band's name was not created by an explosion at the Scrabble factory, but from the name of one of the characters in Thundar the Barbarian. The group has won 4 Pegasus Awards and the 2014 Logan Award for Outstanding Original Comedy Song. Even more impressive, at least from where I'm standing, is the fact that they had the most requested song on Dr. Demento 2 years running, 2012 and 2013, because Dr. Demento is cool. They have 10 published albums of their songs. I'm guessing numbers 11, 12, and 13 are on their way. Please welcome Ookla the Mock.
Thanks, everybody. We're super happy to be here. We were really excited when we learned that it was a college theme because, as you can see, we're college professors. All you need to be a college professor is a bow tie and a sweater vest.
Bow ties are cool.
That's right there.
Dr. Demento, yeah.
I am sorry, I am on Team Fez.
Oh, fences are cool for a minute there. But so yeah, we're college professors.
Tomorrow. Yes, yeah, actually, I'm actually a college professor.
Me too.
I don't need the bow ties. Adam, you're not a college professor.
Well, in our hearts, Rand, aren't we all college professors?
I am.
Thanks, everybody. We have concerts tonight at 8 and tomorrow at 5 p.m. Don't miss them.
As is the case in all college campuses, one of the major activities at UFC is not studying. Fortunately, the administration has that one covered as well with our professor of games, Steve Jackson. Steve began his career at Metagaming Concepts in 1976, where he developed the games Ogre and GEV. In 1980, he left and founded Steve Jackson Games, a risky move in an uncertain economy. He followed that up by buying the magazine Space Gamer from Metagaming, an equally risky move, and completed the What in the World Am I Thinking hat trick by printing in December of that year the fourth published story of a thoroughly unknown and probably going nowhere writer named Timothy Zahn. Fortunately, he was able to recover from all three of these mad, impetuous moves. Over the next third of a century, he designed or co-designed many of the over 100 games that have been created by SJ Games. Along the way, he has received over a dozen Origins Awards, become the youngest game designer to be inducted into the Origins Hall of Fame, battled the U.S. Secret Service in court and won, and been frequently confused with the British game designer who carries the same name. I suggest a duel. Please welcome Steve Jackson.
Thank you, Tim. I'm having a great time. This seems very much like a convention from everything else. Unusually for a convention, the opening ceremony is packed. Were you bribed?
Yes, actually, the t-shirts. Okay, maybe a little dry.
You know whatever works. Okay, well, at some points in the convention you will find me in gaming. At some points you're going to find me at the concerts. You're going to certainly find me in the parties. And yeah, I'll show up at my own program items as well. So please come say the bar, yes, or as we remember at Bob's office. We'll see you. Thank you.
Is justly proud of its science department. Nowhere is this pride better illustrated than by the invitation of Professor J. Storrs Hall, or Josh to his friends and us, to occupy the science guest chair. Professor Josh Hall is a working scientist, basically the person I might have been if I hadn't left my original scientific path and become a writer. The difference is he's good at the science he does. Not so much. His field is molecular nanotechnology, one of the true cutting-edge areas of scientific inquiry. He's also worked as a computer systems architect, another of the true cutting-edge areas of scientific work. I'm guessing he doesn't like crowds because clearly he enjoys staying well ahead of them. Bottom line, he creates, invents, and manipulates most of the stuff we authors write about. And just to close the loop, he himself is also an author, with 2 books ready under his belt. One side note, the UFC faculty originally planned to name a campus building after him, the J. Storrs Hall. Sadly, autocorrect. Please welcome a man who does it all, J. Storrs Hall.
Thanks to the FenCon committee for inviting me down here. When I heard that I was going to be coming down to Texas, I said, oh wow, this is great because I know what that's like. I've read H.B. Piper's Lone Star Planet. I'm certain I saw a super cow out of the plane on the way in. And I haven't quite gotten up to the point of enjoying your national sport of shooting politicians. But I'm hoping I'll be doing that soon. Anyways. If you want to hear about the apotheosis of physical instrumentality, you can come to my talk tomorrow.
What we don't have at UFC is enough chairs. Earlier, you will recall the trouble we had with autocorrect turning our spatial artist into a visual artist. Well, we at UFC do not take defeat lying down. We do indeed have a spatial artist. We're just all that. Professor Rick Sternbach is one of those rare creative people who started out on the right path, got off, then got back on again. He began at the University of Connecticut as an art major, then switched to marine biology. Or maybe that wasn't the wrong path. Maybe he planned to work in watercolors and was going the full immersion route. At any rate, he returned to art after leaving college, illustrating various books and magazines, with the October 1973 issue of Analog giving him his first cover illustration. Since then, he's been awarded 2 Hugos for his work. In 1977, inspired by Ralph McQuarrie, he moved to California to look for work in the film and TV industry. He ended up working for Disney, PBS, and in 1978 on Star Trek the Motion Picture. He also worked with Carl Sagan on Cosmos from 1977 to 1980, winning an Emmy for his work there. Since then, he has worked with other movies, TV shows, and Star Trek's smarter brother, the Jet Propulsion Lab. Speaking of Star Trek, as near as I can figure, he basically invented everything in that universe that flies, beeps, or has blinking lights. Please welcome Rick Sternbach.
Big thanks to the FenCon committee for inviting me. That was a real nice surprise out of the blue. You know, I'm having a fantastic time so far. It's still early, and you know, as professor, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel all my classes until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay, so have fun and thanks a lot.
We come now to our final guest lecturer here at UFC, and in the distinguished and traditional phrasing of stodgy institutions across the globe, he is a doozy. Professor Eric Flint began his career with a bang, winning the 1993 Writers of the Future contest. From there, he went on to publish his first novel in 1997, becoming a full-time writer in 1999. Not content to be merely an editor-baiting author, he has also worked as an author-irritating editor, assembling short story collections and reissuing some of the works of classic SF authors, including Keith Laumer and A.E. Van Vogt, who were 2 of my own favorites when I was growing up. Since then, he has published a boatload of books, another technical phrase, often in collaboration with other writers. His series include 1632, Belisarius, Heirs of Alexandria, Trail of Glory, Joe's World, and many others. And like all the truly outstanding authors of our age, he's also worked with David Weber in the Honor Harrington universe. Speaking of the Honorverse, sometime during the convention, you really should ask him about his infamous lathe incident. Or perhaps you could ask him how he helped save Honor Harrington's life, more or less by accident. Please welcome Eric Flint.
Remember a lathe incident. And he must have gotten that from David Weber, whom I will remind you is a notorious storyteller. I, however, do have many stories about David Weber, which I'll be quite happy to share with you here at the convention. Those of you who read the program book will have read that the appreciation of me was written by my publisher, Tony Weitzkopf, in which he insinuated that I have given her several gray hairs by coming in very, very close to deadlines. This is not exactly what happened. What happened is that when I first started writing, I asked Jim Bain, then the publisher of Bain Books, Tony at the time was the chief editor, out of idle curiosity, what was the actual real deadline, in the sense of by what point did a publisher really, really, really need a book in order to make the publication schedule, and they refused to tell me. And, you know, I mean, I've been an agitator, an activist, and troublemaker for decades. This is what I'll find out. And I did. I will point out in my defense that on at least half the occasions, there were books I was writing with David Weber. Anyway, thank you very much for inviting me here. I appreciate it very much, and I'm sure we'll have a very enjoyable weekend. Is there a chair down there for me? No, all right, fine. Thank you.
understand it, there was a broken hyperdrive, and he wanted to make a new piece on a lathe, and David told him it was solid state, it couldn't be made on a lathe, and he did it anyway. See troublemaker above. And that, I believe, is it. I've been told to remind you about the Ookla Lamok concert immediately following. And you need to check out the party board outside the party wing by the party cave. Oh, sorry, wrong universe. But I'm told there will be parties. I haven't seen the list myself, but yes.
I was just wondering about the Ookla Lamok concert. Is it going to be? Are we going to be sitting there, or are we going to be standing up and dancing for it?
That's up to you, man.
So,
Boogie's standing up here boogieing. So.
Dancing will be optional. Yes.
Toast clothing.
Not going to. And unless somebody from the con committee knows otherwise, I guess this is it. Welcome to FenCon. We will decide on whether there'll be a quiz, depending on how well you guys see. Well, if the con suite doesn't run out of soda, there will be a pop quiz. Never mind. Have a great convention, everyone. Thank you very much.
Everybody enjoy the opening ceremony?
No, I didn't.
There are discount
I hope they did. They had to sit through me, so.
Yeah, no, Kroger has advance tickets to
Okay.
the fair cheaper than you get at the gates.
That's good to know. I don't know what happened. I thought we had UN programming. I guess something got lost. I'm going to see what I can do to make sure it happens next year. And I apologize.
No, I understand you had double knee surgery.
Yeah.
Enjoy opening ceremony? Did you enjoy the opening ceremony?
Yes, I did. It's always good.
Okay. Looks like you're a Rider fan. Okay, that ends the opening ceremonies of FenCon 11. This is the Spaceman 42 channel signing off.